Ladies and gentlemen, I'll have a live stream on this topic and a number of other topics tonight at around 10 p.m. Pacific. So be here at 10 p.m. Pacific this evening. I'll have a late evening live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, hashtag wrong Trump is trending. Now, I took screenshots of the fact that you could see hashtag wrong Trump trending. IVANA Trump passed away. Terrible day. Okay? Why is Twitter... So it's a terrible day for the Trump family, Donald Trump, obviously his children, and so why is Twitter allowing that? Why is Twitter allowing wrong Trump to trend? The reason is the same reason that they allowed wrong Trump to trend when his brother passed away, when Trump's brother passed away. Okay? You're talking about the most vile, insidious, hypocritical, disingenuous people on the planet. These are the same people who say that Trump is so boorish and mean and he's a bully. You couldn't find more vicious and vile people than the wonderful, morally superior, highly educated, oftentimes, but not always, liberal Democrats who influence social media algorithms and social media sites like Twitter. Okay? They're oftentimes the most petulant, vindictive, vile people. They relish when anyone suffers that they think opposes them politically because they've done away with the concept of God and religion, and their religion, they're actually fighting a holy battle against Trump and his family. So if God forbid something bad happens to Trump, even though record low Black and Latino unemployment, record low unemployment, inflation at around 2%, real wages were way up under Trump, Abraham Accords that Biden is now trying to, in some dystopian manner, Orwellian manner, take credit for, Abraham Accords, Doha agreement that Biden completely botched, reversing 20 years of failed Lincoln Project and establishment Democrat foreign policy. Again, that mashed potato brain's completely botched. First president to step foot in North Korea. Trump allocated more funding to historically black colleges and universities and made the funding permanent. Did that. No other president has done that. More funding to HBCUs than any other president, making the funding permanent. Trump signed an executive order combating anti-Semitism on college campuses. He never was installed by the Kremlin, nor did he ever work or collude with another country, ever. They never indicted him on any of the absurd accusations, okay? And if you want to talk about Ivanka Trump and Kushner, Kushner's family was worth about $1.8 billion in 2016, according to Forbes, okay? Ivanka and Kushner were multimillionaires long before Trump got into office. Biden had $100,000 in net worth, something like that in 2008. He now has $10 million. Big, completely different, there's no comparison. Then there's this article like, they made $640 million. They were already, the Kushner family was already $1.8 billion before he got into politics. And he actually ran investments and businesses. So when you say this country gave him $2 billion to invest, yeah, to invest. God, where are the emails that show this request? How can you use your influence on the company's behalf? That was to Hunter. Hunter used Air Force One or Air Force Two, along with the vice president, to fly to business deals. He met with business people at the White House and other government, like 19 other government buildings. He has emails showing clear violations of the law. Kushner does not. The problem is the left or Democrats never read those emails, so they're completely ignorant. And they say, Kushner, he enriched himself. No. You're only bringing that up even though these people were wealthy long before politics. Joe and Hunter were not wealthy. There's a difference, and there are emails implicating the wealth and explaining how they got wealthy. Not so with Trump or his kids. But anyway, they're like, oh yeah, Kushner makes and Ivanka makes $640 million. It's like, no. They were wealthy before. They had businesses and they had investment companies and they actually knew how to run a business. Hunter did not, neither did Joe, but they then amassed a fortune. And the emails show, literally, question, like, I give 10% to the big man, so he's giving money to the vice president. Vice president forced out a prosecutor. Doesn't matter if Hunter was still working for that corporation, because the corporation had already given him money to the tune of $1 million+. Why do you think they gave him $1 million? For future, for beneficial treatment either then or in the future. That's how it works. That's how graft and bribery works. Democrats are hilarious. Like, well, the timeline doesn't add up. The timeline adds up perfectly if you have a business arrangement where you're saying, hey, give Hunter $1 million and eventually I'll hook you up with beneficial treatment either immediately or in the future. Okay, same thing with the Clintons and Bill and Hillary and the foundation and Uranium One. That's why, like, anyway, the whole point that we can go on forever. Okay, there are emails and my 150 banking transactions, financial transactions deemed suspicious. Kushner and Ivanka Trump don't have 150 banking transactions deemed suspicious. Neither does Trump. We can go on the list. I mean, if they actually want to debate Ivanka Trump and Kushner versus Hunter, let's go ahead. Then you have one video, could be doctored, but knowing the way he is, probably not, of him weighing narcotics. You don't have any videos like that with Kushner. But anyway, you can read #WrongTrump is trending. I just took a screenshot of it. Let me look at the screenshot. Actually, it's what's happening in memoriam. Ivana Trump, ex-wife of Donald Trump, okay, passes away at 73. Trending with Ivana Trump, wrong Trump. They have never, and you can look at the specific. There are different Twitter profiles linked to Democrats, okay? Linked to Democrats that actually, where they're actually saying the most vile things about Ivana Trump's children as if their children are like Hunter. Look, Hunter, Joe's son, and the Trump children are completely different. The Trump children don't have the baggage, the emails, the voicemails, the videos, the clear violations of the law. Okay, there was a story of Hunter's girlfriend throwing his firearm, a .38, into a dumpster near a school. You can go on forever, and then they lost it and the Secret Service got involved. That was a Politico article. Then you have Hunter saying that Joe owns 5 firearms while he's campaigning against them. I mean, these are the biggest hypocrites on the planet, okay? Trump is not the hypocrite that Joe and Hunter and everybody else on the left is, okay? He is who he is. And they would have embraced his rear end immediately before him running for office. They see him as a political obstacle of biblical proportions. Everything they said about him, from the fact that he said both sides have fine people, and therefore he meant the 1930s and 1940s Germans. No, he didn't. You can look at the transcript. Pretty much every single accusation against Trump was fake news or distorted and warped from a very petulant, from a petulant and disingenuous viewpoint based on liberal sensibilities. Oh, he meant this. He knew this. Now they're saying he knew he was wrong 2 years ago. Like, no, he actually believes he's right. Okay? My God. I mean, the narcissism that coming from the left is unbelievable. They say that Trump is a bully and a narcissist. The reaction to Trump, you see the true bullies and narcissists from the reaction to Trump. But here, I mean, you could look, Ivana Trump, you can look at, like, you can look at the vile statements. I'm not going to actually read the actual, like, Twitter names, but here, I mean, like, Ivana Trump, Donald's first wife and the mother of the monstrous Ivanka, Don Jr. and Eric, passes away at 73. Monstrous? And Hunter is what? Like, how are they monstrous, but Hunter is okay to this Democratic organization? How does that even make any sense at all? Or that Joe is okay? Joe was accused of worse than anything Trump was ever accused of, but media just, and as was Bill, but media just sweeps it under the rug. They don't care. You're talking about, like, people, you're talking about Trump, who did not have a recession and a geopolitical nightmare in Europe. Biden, who does have a recession, inflation through the roof, crime soaring, homelessness, wealth inequality soaring. Now he's flooding the country with strategic petroleum reserves because his initial attempts at going after the fossil fuel industry was an abject categorical failure. Like, he's sued initially by oil and gas associations and by 14 states because of his fossil fuel policies. Then he realizes that his policies directly led to the recession and inflation. And then the price at the gas pump skyrockets because he's literally making it more difficult for oil and gas companies to operate, which is what they say, banning leasing on federal lands, all of these things. They say, hey, you're going to set this industry back within the lawsuits, and your policies are making things more expensive for the consumer. Within the lawsuits, they state this. But then he realizes a year later, oh yeah, my policy stinks, so let's flood the country full of strategic petroleum reserves. Then he angers the environmental groups that are now suing him. He's being sued by two opposite sides of the political pendulum, okay, the political universe, because he's just panders, and he doesn't really whatever. We can get into that. But what did Trump do that was so bad, aside from anger and horrify the same people who cheated Bernie Sanders, the same people who got us into never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts? And then, you get this kind of belief that, the DNC emails, they helped Trump. Yeah, they did. Do you want to know why they helped Trump? Yeah, because they showed that Bernie was cheated. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign. That's not Trump's fault. That's not Bernie Sanders' fault. That's not Assange's fault. That's not anyone's fault. That's Debbie Wasserman Schultz's fault, and the Democratic Party and Clinton. And all the Democrats who were apoplectic and vent this disdain, this very warped and twisted disdain against Trump and his family. IVANA Trump, Donald Trump, the monstrous Ivanka. What did she do so monstrous? Donald Jr. What? He actually talks back. What these people don't like is, Trump is not a bully. In American politics, if you think Trump is the actual bully, you're not really paying attention. The true bully is Strzok, McCabe, Clapper, Brennan, Comey, the New York Times, MSNBC, CNN, the Washington Post. These people took an innocent man and accused him of something he didn't do. They accused him of being installed by the Kremlin, when Bush could have done the same thing with President Obama when President Obama campaigned on a Russian reset. And you had one Guardian article with the leader of that country saying, yeah, we hope that President Obama, we're happy that he's won, or we hope that there's a change with President Obama. And then President Obama said the 80s want their foreign policy back to Mitt Romney. Why is that? Okay, because when it was convenient to reignite the Cold War, Democrats did. So they could blame Bernie Sanders being cheated, and then they would have won with Bernie Sanders in 2016, and now they don't like the Supreme Court, but you messed that up, Democrats. You cheated your own candidate, and then you expected everyone to fall in line. I told you, people were eventually not going to fall in line, like myself. I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post. I was the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. I was never going to fall in line. And I don't have a Twitter account. I don't have Twitter. Thank God. Because it's this dystopian cyber nightmare of a platform. But be here at 10 p.m. Pacific tonight. We'll have a live stream on this and other. But this is just one example. The monstrous Ivanka. What monstrous? It's not like she was engaged in illegal activity 24/7 like Joe's, like Hunter, and, weighing narcotics. I mean, taking videos of, okay, and then selling access to the United States government. Anyway, give me your thoughts below, which he did. Like, he didn't, okay, the prosecutor being forced out, and then that email saying, how can you use your influence on the company's behalf? Like, literally, the company that asked him for help received the help. The timeline that the Democrats care about, see, Democrats think it's like a narcotics deal, the type of thing that Hunter engages in. No, you don't have to have that beneficial treatment take place right then and there. You can have a business relationship where it's like, okay, we'll give you $1 million, but hook us up in the future. Give me your thoughts below. Thank you.